I don't know who needs to see this right now, but just don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Don't give up. Even if there's no one at the finish line, just don't give up. Don't. Do it for yourself.
I think it's hilarious, bro, when people try to shit on me and try to brag about working more than me. Motherfucker be like, you only worked 8-10 hours today? I put in 16. I put in 22. Bruh, bragging about spending your entire fucking life at work is not the fucking flex you really think it is. It's not. I'm gonna tell you right now, I would gladly make $70,000 to $80,000 a year, enjoying myself, loving what I'm doing, and happy, instead of making $200,000 a year, miserable as fuck. Come on.
Some of you aren't burnt out because the work's hard. You're burnt out because the relationship with your workplace is completely one-sided. Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me for a little bit. I know you can handle the work. You've done it your entire life. Long hours don't scare you. Pressure doesn't scare you. And responsibility damn sure doesn't scare you. But what wears you down is giving everything you have to a place that keeps proving time and time again that it wouldn't do the same for you. You stayed late, they call it commitment. You covered the gap, they call it teamwork. You protected the standard, and they quietly built the whole process around your sacrifice. Then, when you finally do get tired, when you finally do get quiet, they sit back all surprised and confused, like, oh, what happened to you? Well, what happened to you was you realized that the relationship was one-sided. And that kind of burnout, it hits different because it's not just physical and mental exhaustion, it's disappointment. It's looking around and realizing that you show up every single day for people who only value you when you're useful. That's just the truth. So yes, I want you to check your capacity. Yes, I want you to check your workload. I want you to check your boundaries, but I also want you to check the trust and make sure that that trust is going both ways, because sometimes you're not burnt out because you work too much. Sometimes you're burnt out because you gave too much to people who treated your loyalty like it was just another resource.
I thought life was going to be kinder. I really did. I thought it was going to be gentler as a child. And I think the disillusionment of what I expected my future to be and having to live the reality of a purpose unlived is like something that I can't communicate to people. The reality of not having the softer life that you had envisioned for yourself, no matter how much you try, how much work you put in, and going 20, 30, 40 years and just hoping that at some point it's going to happen. It just never happens. I don't think there's anything that compares. To be honest, I don't think there's anything that compares to a life unlived, to not having purpose, to not having any of the things you dreamed of, any of the things you worked hard towards. You spend your whole life being told if you work towards a goal, you'll get it, and that's not always true. Life can have a different plan for you, and you have to just live in constant grief of like the acceptance that the life you wanted is not in alignment with the life the universe wanted.
Excuse me, I just want to complain real quick. Why is the broom and the stick separate? Why do you have to buy the broom and the stick? You can't do the broom without the stick, so why is it separate? Y'all motherfuckers gonna find some kind of way to scam, some kind of way.
So crazy how $1,000 ain't no money. Like $1,000 is no money at all. Like $1,000, you can literally go through $1,000 in a day. Literally, like it is. Back in the day, having $1,000 in your account it was like you good. Now having $1,000 in your account, you like ooh. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta budget. You feel me? That shows just how expensive everything has gotten these days. You know, $100 just like a dollar. You can go through $100 in 5 minutes. So like, Jesus, you know, and crazy part with $1,000 is a lot to lose, but it's not a lot to have. It's not a lot to have at all. Like these days, if you only got paid $1,000, it's like that is nothing. That is nothing. It's crazy how expensive everything has gotten. It's ridiculous. What we gonna do though? I don't know where they expect us to get all this money from, but whatever.
The world was going to hell in a breadbasket. It's already here. There ain't no going. It's here. Look how people There's no way that I can explain to you how much better times were back then than they are today. People didn't have the worry and the stress that they were under today. Because they didn't get stressed out because they didn't have that stress and pressure on them.
But you didn't have that much money.
Huh?
You didn't have that much money, so that's stressful.
Things didn't cost that much though back then. No, because money ain't worth nothing today. Like I said, when I was a kid, for a quarter, you could go to the movies and have a small Coke and a little bag of popcorn. Today, you can't even get in the movies under $4 or $5 if you can get in that cheap.
You can't get in that cheap.
See what I mean?
Yeah. So what else made it so much better?
Because people were more friendly. They looked after one another. And you didn't worry about things like you worry about today. And there was no need of going hungry because all you had to do is get out and put your garden in and can it for yourself for the winter. You really didn't need to be buying nothing from the grocery store other sugar, coffee, flour, and meal. That was the main items that was bought in a grocery store because you didn't buy milk because you had a cow. You didn't buy butter because you made butter from the cream off of the milk.
I'm gonna come right out and say it. I no called, no showed to work, and I regret nothing. For the last 2 months, my job has sporadically changed what days I have off, and that has led to quite a few issues when it comes to scheduling things. And over a month ago, when I periodically had Mondays off, I decided that I was going to purchase baseball tickets to go to watch the Orioles play with my little brother. It was for a promotion in which we would get free Maryland jerseys, and honestly, the jerseys look badass. But anyways, over a month ago I bought these tickets, and I bought them for $130 a piece. So it was set in stone that I was going to this game, because after dropping $200+, I'm going. Now, mind you, this was also in the same month that I would be going to New York from the 1st through the 4th. That wasn't too harsh in of itself. You know, I didn't really miss many hours. I mean, I'm not upset about it. They did try to call me on the 4th, by the way, when I was still in New York. That was funny. But on top of that, after months of my job nagging me to try to start to get my license, because I still have my permit, I finally purchased driving school. And so from the 11th through the 22nd, I had to get off of work at like 5 or 5:30, so that way I could go to my classes from 6 to 9 p.m. So I'll admit, May was a pretty chaotic month for me. Hell, tomorrow I have a dentist appointment at 10. But it was set in stone, and I had written on the calendar that I would not be able to work Memorial Day. Mind you, I was also unaware that it was Memorial Day until about 3 weeks ago. I'll admit, I completely forget about holidays because my job makes us work holidays, so I've just given up remembering what's coming. Anyways, after having told my boss that I would not be able to work today, that I had plans today, I look at my schedule 3 days ago and see that they have me put down for a 12-hour shift. Now, I've done a lot for this job. Now, I make $1 above minimum wage at this job, and I have no benefits at all. And I have worked tirelessly at this job. I barely sleep most nights because of this job. I have come in on my days off for this job. Hell, on Valentine's Day, because I was single and one guy no-called, no-showed, I had to come in and work one of the most grueling days I have ever worked. So needless to say, I have done shit for this company, even though they barely do shit for me. And when I saw that 12-hour shift on the day that I'm going to the ballpark, I let it be known that I would not be coming. The last 2 days that I've been working, because they've wanted me to work 7 days in a row. They wanted me to work Saturday, Sunday, Monday through Friday. So I wouldn't have had any time with my family at all, really. So the last 2 days, I pretty much let it be known, hey, I'm not coming on Monday. I have plans. No offense to you, but I have plans. And sure as shit, this morning, I slept. When I was supposed to be waking up to go to work. I slept. They called me at like 8 o'clock. I did not answer. I woke up at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I went to the ballpark with my little brother. And I had an absolute blast, as you saw in my previous video. I mean, that was genuinely one of, if not the best baseball games I've ever been to. Ever. It was a fucking nail biter, and I loved it. So tomorrow, when I clock in at noon, because I have a dentist appointment at 10, I'll do so with a smile on my face. And they can yell at me. They can chastise me. I live in an at-will state. They can fire me just for that. I will have no regrets. I went and made memories with my little brother. I got to represent the team that I love in the stadium that I love going to on a day all around honoring our veterans. And I got to watch the team that I love beat the Tampa Bay Rays. And I will not be upset about that. I bend my will a lot for people. I've done a lot of shit that I don't really feel like doing because it's needed to be done. You know, I'll work a hectic ass shift on Valentine's Day because I'm single. I'll hate it, but I'll do it. I'll clock in super early because somebody's decided to call out sick suddenly. I'll do it. It needs to happen. But when I have plans that involve my family, plans that involve over a month of preparation, and plans that I've straight up said I will not divert from, if you try to make me change those plans, you will be sorely mistaken when you realize that I am not doing what you want me to do. So there's a good chance I will lose my job tomorrow. I'll do so with a smile on my face. It was worth it. Family is everything to me. You know, I don't have a lot of family. And to hang out with my little brother, that means something to me. So yeah, just a quick explanation. I guess not really quick. It's over 5 minutes. You can chastise me in the comments. I don't care. You know, tell me how I'm stupid. Tell me how I'm going to lose my job. I don't care. I made a memory with my little brother. I did something that I had always wanted to do, and that is witness an Orioles victory. And I did so with family. And honestly, with how tense that game was, it was fucking amazing.
I'm sitting here in a parking lot contemplating my life. Sweat trickling down my chest in 100-degree weather. I can't seem to get this off my mind of how am I going to figure this out? Why am I still trying to figure this out at my age? What am I doing wrong? What am I not doing right? What is the lesson in this? Why does it seem like everybody around me has it figured out? But I've come to see I don't think anybody really has it figured out. People just made better decisions. Because people we see have good jobs, they probably hate it. People that have the nice car and the big house too, I mean, they're probably in debt. A lot of people also feel the same way. They just don't talk about it. I promise you, you're not the only one. Got to figure this out somehow, guys.
So I'm starting to see more and more videos every single day about the minimum wage and what you should or should not be allowed to afford with it. And I can't believe how many videos I see about people saying that minimum wage you shouldn't be able to afford to live off minimum wage, which that wasn't the point of the minimum wage to begin with. The whole point of minimum wage was be able to afford a house, a car, and a few kids. That was the whole point of a minimum wage. If I remember correctly, I don't even have to look that up. I'm pretty sure that's right. And there's people out here talking about you shouldn't be allowed to have a roof over your head or food if you work at McDonald's or something. And what pisses me off more than anything is every time I see one of those videos, it's someone in a really nice car, and it's on the younger side, between the ages of like 18 to 24. They either got really lucky with money or was given a lot of money. And dude, it pisses me off because I have a lot of job experiences, especially when it comes to route position. And so I don't have a problem with like making way over the minimum wage. But to sit here and say that a grown person working at McDonald's shouldn't be able to afford a 1-bedroom apartment and a shit 2010 Honda and some food, and hell, God forbid they go out on the weekends. God forbid they do anything fun. They shouldn't be allowed to do that, even though they're working 40 or more. Like, I don't get this. I don't know how this isn't like there should be no back and forth with this. We should all agree on the same fucking thing, that the minimum wage isn't enough. Period. Point blank period. And if your business cannot afford to pay 50, at least 20, then you shouldn't be, your business should go under. I'm sorry to say that, but you can't afford to pay your employees enough to live. You need to go under. You need to change some shit up, because this topic is getting really fucking old.
American life. It is either I'm going to work, I'm coming back from work, I'm preparing to go to work, I'm resting so that I can go to work, I'm already at work, or I'm sleeping to go to work, I'm on my way coming back from work. It's crazy. It's like I live at work and I visit home. American life is crazy. The system is crazy. You can see somebody in America that have been working for 50 years. If he does not have but an insurance plan for saving, but in the personal account saving, you will see few people with a 50,000 saving in their account. Few. Somebody that has been working for 50 years. The system is completely different. You don't work to make a living. No, we don't live in America. We survive in America. We survive bills in America. You don't work to make a living. You work to pay bills. Imagine going to work every day not because you want to make some money, save some money, live a good life. But because you want to pay bills. Like you work money at the end of the month, only the bills alone, the money is gone. The system is different. People don't work in America to live a living. People work in America to pay bills. It's a completely different story. I'm telling you. America is different. We live at work and visit home. We don't work to make a living. We work to pay bills. We don't live in America. We survive in America.
Employees stop caring when nothing changes. Not after one bad meeting, not after one frustrating week, but after repeatedly watching the same problems get discussed while nothing actually improves. The same behavior gets tolerated, right? The same tension never gets addressed. The same feedback disappears into leadership conversations that go nowhere. And eventually people stop believing their effort changes anything meaningfully. And that's when emotional detachment starts. Employees are still going to show up and they're still going to do the work, but they stop bringing the energy, the creativity, the honest feedback into the environment, because people disconnect faster in cultures that feel stuck than cultures that feel difficult.
This economy does not allow for, especially women in their 50s, to have made some bad choices along the way. I work full time. I have worked at the same company for almost 25 years, and I cannot afford to live. Just paid $4.15 for a fucking gallon of gas. I'm so fucking over this shit.
Have you ever noticed that the hardest workers usually get rewarded with more work? And at first, it feels like a compliment. Your manager trusts you. Your coworkers come to you for help. You're the one everyone can count on. And because you care about doing your job, you continue to say yes. You cover shifts. You stay late. You train new employees. You fix mistakes that aren't even yours. Then one day you look around and realize something. The people doing the bare minimum are actually going home on time, while you are carrying half the department on your shoulders. You know what? That's when the resentment starts. Not because you hate working hard, but because hard work without appreciation eventually feels like you're being taken advantage of. Here's what took me years to learn. Being dependable doesn't mean saying yes to everything. You can be a great employee and still have boundaries. You could be a team player without being everyone's backup plan. And if the only reward you receive for working hard is additional work, that's not recognition. Right there, that's an expectation. The healthiest workplaces appreciate reliable employees. Toxic workplaces assume employees will always pick up the slack. If you ever been the employee that everyone always depended on, follow me, because here we talk about workplace toxicity, boundaries, and my number one, protecting your peace. Remember this, Your value is not measured by how exhausted you are at the end of your day. Work hard. Be proud of what you do. But don't let anyone convince you that constantly sacrificing yourself is what makes a good employee, because that's not true. Comment reliable if you've ever felt like being dependable has always came with a price.
You know what's so stupid about working in corporate is that everything is made out to seem like an emergency when none of it is. Like, we're not putting out fires, we're not saving lives, we're not doing surgery, it's none of that. Yet if you asked anyone in senior leadership in any organization, they'd make you think we're saving lives. Buddy, I'm sending emails and leading Teams meetings. There's no emergencies here.
This economy is strange because you could save all your money for a week and spend all of that money that you save for a week in one day, and you try and get ahead, right? Like every time you save some money, it's like an emergency or something. So it makes for a weird economy for a couple reasons, because we're already living at a undesirable wage. Even the people with bachelor's degrees, even the people with master degrees, you're living at an undesirable wage. And the gas prices keep going up, the rent prices going up, the mortgage prices, the income tax property, and it's hard to keep up with your cost of living, let alone save any money. Honestly, I don't see how parents do it. I don't have any kids personally, but if I did, I don't see how I'd be able to budget, even with 2 or 3 jobs in this economy. I guess they get government assistance, I'm not sure, because like I said, I'm not a parent, but yeah, this economy has to be one of the most wicked economies of all time. And it's not even like we're doing worse as a society. That's the most insane part about this economy. Everybody talking about tech and AI. And honestly, some people aren't even losing. But the majority of people are losing. And that's the reality of the American economy. If you agree with this message, make sure you like, share, repost. If you don't, leave a comment and let me know why. Peace.
I'm just making this video to say it is amazing to have a career. It is amazing to have goals. It is amazing to be able to go to work and go do something that helps you elevate your life. Absolutely. But what I'm trying to tell you is this. Do not be the person that when they look back, all they can say was, all I did was go to work. That is a scary way. Your life is way too beautiful for you to sit here and say, all I did was go to work. Please use your PTO. Please take your time off. Please make sure you are taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, and even spiritually. Please do that. Go live your life. Do not be somebody that when they look back, all they say was, all I did was go to work. You're going to end up empty, I promise you, at least in your soul.
Look, I don't know who needs to hear this, but take your lunch break. Get off early when you can. Take your weekends, your holidays. Use every single minute of PTO they give you. You agreed to do a job in exchange for pay and benefits. You didn't sign up to sell your soul and every precious moment of your spare time to a place that could replace you within a week. Listen, I know them 80-hour weeks and them paychecks are nice and all, but you got to remember what you're out there grinding for. Them 80-hour weeks that you're working to support your family and make things better for you and everybody else around you, well, you got to remember to call them. They got to be a part of your life. Because if you don't have a work and life balance, I got bad news. You're going to lose one of them. And it ain't going to be the one you want to lose.
I wish more people understood that it's not that I hate working, it's that I hate that I put so many hours and effort and energy into working, which is fine, but it's still not enough to be like financially stable. Like obviously I'm not getting kicked out of my house, but I don't have savings. I can't pay off my debt very quickly. And that's what sucks, is I put all this time and effort and energy to the point that I'm exhausted. I'm working full time and I can't get ahead. That's what sucks.
Before you walk into work tomorrow already stressed out, already irritated, and already rehearsing conversations in your head, I need you to hear this. Stop letting that job ruin your peace before you even get there. Some of you are sitting at home right now, not even on the clock, and that place is still controlling your mood. That is not preparation, people. That is emotional overtime. And the worst part is, half the people you're stressing over have not thought about you once. The boss who dismissed you is sleeping fine. The coworker who threw you under the bus last week, relaxing. The people who created the chaos for you, they're not carrying it, but you are. And that's the problem. And here's where you need to wake up before tomorrow actually gets here. If they already showed you the pattern, Stop walking back in hoping for a different personality or a different situation. Go in with a plan and not an attitude. Not a speech, but a plan. Document what needs to be documented, but stop giving emotional access to people who only respect your labor and not your limits. Because some jobs don't burn you out all at once. They do it by making you feel guilty every time you decide to choose yourself. So tonight, reset. Get your mind right. And stop letting tomorrow borrow peace from today. Because your job can get your time, but it does not get to take your whole spirit with it. Now share and comment. And follow me for more HR tips. The more you know.
No matter how much I fucking work, it ain't enough. I need more fucking money. 6 hours overtime and I still can't fucking make it. Well, at least I got my overtime. $240 after taxes. It's like an extra $120. But I'm still fucking $150 negative from last week. Overdrawn checks. I owe him fucking $30. Fuck, I'm still behind. Electric bill's late. My cell phone bill's late. The mortgage is 8 days late. I can pay that up to 30 days late. Every fucking day I'm just trying to figure out what can I pay late that's not going to affect me more, but I can still afford to eat. Maybe I can just buy a big jar of sauce and like a pound of fucking spaghetti and just maybe buy like a tiny package of hamburger and I can just eat spaghetti for the next 3-4 days. And then maybe for a snack, go to the dollar store, buy a box of fucking cookies for $1 and coffee can wait. I got water. I can just drink water. Water is good for the body. I need to replenish myself because I'm fucking dehydrated. Coffee's not that important. Maybe if I write this check for gas, they won't cash it for a couple of days, and that'll be like before my check hits. Then as long as my check hits before the check clears, my paycheck, then it won't matter because it'll cover it, but then I'll be behind, and then next week I'm already behind before I even get fucking paid. No matter how much I work, it's not enough. This isn't fun anymore. It's not even surviving. It's not even living. I don't even know what the fuck you call it. You're working to be behind, and every week you get more and more behind. Credit cards maxed out, mortgage late, electric bill late, phone calls, letters. I used to enjoy getting the mail. Now I don't even want to see it. Because why am I going to see it? Because it's going to be something that's late. It's going to be something that's due, overdue. I can't fucking do this anymore. It shouldn't be this way. You should be able to go to work, go home, enjoy time with your family, sit on the porch, have a cup of coffee, a glass of beer, whatever floats your boat. But why does it have to be this way? Why do we have to struggle? Why can't there be any extra money? Why can't I go for an ice cream with my family? Why can't I go see a movie? Can't go to the movies that cost $80. You get fucking 2 movie tickets, popcorn, fucking drinks, gas, $60 to $80. I can't fucking do it. Maybe next week. Maybe next week will be easier. Maybe we can have a yard sale. Maybe we can sell some stuff. Maybe I could donate a kidney. God, I love living in America. I love America. The land of the free. The home of the brave. Everything's fucking great. You smile for your coworkers, pretend like everything's fine, and then you go in your car and you just stare out the window the whole ride home. And you sit in the driveway for like 3 to 4 minutes and just try to decompress and try to calm your brain down and try to just stop thinking for a few minutes before you walk in the house and put another smile on your family so your family thinks that you're okay and there's nothing wrong. That you're just doing great because you're working overtime, you must have money. No, I'm getting farther and farther and farther behind. The American workforce is fucking tired. We're tired of working. We're tired of being taxed. We're tired of being mentally, physically, emotionally drained every goddamn day. You can't catch a break. You can't get ahead. You can't afford anything. What are we supposed to do? What are they going to do when eventually everybody fucking cracks at the same time? It says, we've had enough. We ain't paying nothing anymore. We're fucking done. I'm sick of worrying about bills. I'm sick of worrying about who I owe. You're scratching little notes down on pieces of paper trying to calculate all else. I got it. No, you don't got it. We're never going to have it. You're never going to be ahead.
You're never going to have money. You're never going to be able to save. You can't afford a vacation. It's never going to end. And that's the mentality of every person in the country right now. No matter what you do, you're stuck. You're trapped. You're in this washing machine of just fucking dread and worry every single day. And you know nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to get better. That this is life. This is the way it's going to be until we die.
Yeah, something is going on with the economy. It's collapsing. And a lot of people are starting to notice it. And things is not starting to add up. It's been like this for a long time. But a lot of people been acting naive to it. But once they start to notice that the economy is changing, it's getting worse, they're going to start to be more woke. Because just think about it. The things that we deal with every day, constant gas prices, they take their time to go down. And then you got AI just taking over everything. And I guess a lot of people are starting to get tired of AI. They're getting tired of hearing about it. It's becoming a nightmare more than helping. That's what some people believe. And then just think about it. People can't find jobs nowhere. Jobs are becoming more difficult to obtain. And then they like to ask you crazy questions on an interview. I find that quite fascinating. When 2020 first arrived, and you know that situation that happened in 2020, it was easy to find a job. But now, it's difficult. And then jobs is not paying as much. Everybody want to walk out their job. And I don't blame them. And the average American is just burnt out mentally and physically because they're doing the same thing every day. And they're starting to feel like they're not getting nowhere. And the cost of living and trying to survive is becoming not worth it to them. So they're trying to make some sense into the situation. They feel like nothing is adding up. And they're upset. They feel like, why me? Why did the system do this to us? This is the one system that we was taught to love and believe. This was the system that we were taught to just do everything right. And it seems to not work. So that's why people are frustrated. They have to get their frustrations out. Because if they don't, who knows? So if you feel free, it's okay to vent. And people will call it complaining. But you have your right to. Because at the end of the day, you're just trying to make it out here. Everybody's trying to make it out here. And you need money to live. That's the sad thing. The things that used to be free, the things that should be free, you getting charged for. The water, whatever. They charging you for it. They'll charge you to breathe if they could. And that's sad. Because we really living in this type of world. And it seems like I don't think it's going to get no better. Some people think that it's going to get better in a couple years. They keep saying be patient. People have been patient for too long. And that's what I'm talking about. But in reality, to take out your frustrations, try to find something that you like to do or vent to just take out your pain. And I know you get up each and every day trying to work your job, but find things that you like to do so you can get through the day better. Because I know sometimes when you're working at those jobs, the day go by so crazy, so hectic. It takes forever for 8 hours to arrive. But when you off, 8 hours come like that. The time is always moving fast. And before you know it, you'll be 10 years older or 5 years older. So that's my take on this situation. Let me know how y'all feel about this. Leave it in the comments. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.